Welcome, YouTubers. It is me, Robot of Robot Ninja Paradise, and this is the newest episode of 2Spooky4Me. And today we'll be reading another creepypasta titled MaRIo, because there's so many of these for some weird reason. Anyways, let us begin. I was asked to clean out my father's house after he had passed away. He was a huge gaming nerd in all caps, so now you understand. He even camped out for the release of the NES when he was about my age, 19. He had them all: Atari 2600, Atari Flashback, Magnavox Odyssey, 2000 to 5000, NES, Super Nintendo, N64, NGC, Wii, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, DS Lite, DSi, 3DS, Xbox, Xbox 360, PlayStation 1, 3, PSP, and PS Vita. He might even have the Wii U if he was alive long enough for the release, though he probably wouldn't. I was in my father's house alone, cleaning out the basement. I grabbed one of the last cardboard boxes down there, and I noticed how light it was. Wondering why it was so light, I peeked inside to find that one old NES game cartridge. It did not have a game label on it. It only had MaRIo, crudely written by my father, with a permanent marker. I became curious. Why was this game all by itself in a box? Why was the label torn off? Why was it written on? And why was Mario spelled so crudely? Since my father handed me down all of his games and consoles, which included his NES, I decided to take it home and figure it out for myself. I got home and set it up the NES. I immediately popped the game and started up. Things already seemed a little off. The game had no startup screen. It simply just placed me at the start of the first level, what would appear to be the classic game that we all know and love, Super Mario Bros. Well, the game is old, I thought to myself. Maybe it's just a little glitchy, and that it's why it skipped the startup screen. Dad did buy it at its midnight release, after all, so I continued. Like everyone else in these stories. As I expected, the game was rather glitchy. Sometimes when grabbing a fire flower, it would make Mario small, and stars only work 75% of the time. As well, Toad never said the message he had for you at the end of every castle. You know, thank you Mario, but our princess is in another castle. He never said anything that was until World 7's castle. Only one step closer to becoming one of us. This message made me chuckle a little. I assume my father had hacked the game for laughs, and that was why it was so glitchy before. Things got weird after that, because everything was so normal. In level 8-1, the sky was a dark red, and the music was a little slower than usual. The whole level was nothing but 5 minutes of walking. No enemies or obstacles, just the ground. Reaching the end of the level, I grabbed the flag. The ending fanfare did not play, and the fireworks sounded more like gunshots than 8-bit explosions. Okay, that was strange, I thought to myself. What was the point in that? Oh well, on to the next. Level 8-2 was even stranger. The sky was an even darker red because blood, and the music played even slower because cliché. This time, there were enemies, and I was approached by a Koopa Troopa, and for points, I jumped on him. This delightful little noise that plays when you jump on an enemy did not play this time. And instead, there was a squish accompanied with a crackling of bones and a slight groan. Cliché. This was weird and sadistic. It did not even seem like something my father would do. Apparently, I did not know my father. In fact, he in no way condoned anything scary in my house as I was growing up. He never allowed my older sister or anyone myself to play any scary games or watch any scary movies. We did at our house, his friends' houses, of course, but that is besides the point. I moved on and ran into a Goomba. Great, you disobeyed your father. Now you must be punished. To make sure the earlier sound was not a glitch, I jumped on it, the same sound played. I was becoming unsettled, to say the least. When I reached the end of the level, the same thing happened as it had at the end of the previous level. I noticed something even more weird. The spot on the screen that showed what level you are on did not display World 8-3. Instead, it showed World followed by a symbol on a flag at the end of the very level that looked like a skull. I know it is not actually a skull, but it looks like one. The third level of World Skull was even stranger. The sky was a dark red, because of course, cliché, much darker than before, cliché, and the music did not even play, cliché. Oh my gosh, that was 3 clichés in a row, guys. Things that I came to were already, oh look, 4! Their bodies appeared twisted and mangled, like someone at 5, guys, 5! Beating them to death. I reached the end. There was no flag or anything like that. It had a welcome Mario painted on the front. It, which I assumed to be blood, reluctantly, I entered. The black screen that shows your status between levels showed that I had X0 lives, and I was in World D-ED. Get it, guys? World dead? I was pale and trembling with fear. Just what was this game? The castle was like the first level of World Skull. There were no obstacles, enemies, or slow music. I walked straight for what seemed like at least 15 minutes, another creepypasta cliche. My time reached 0, but the level kept going. It felt like Mario was not alone, like someone was watching his every move. My only questions were, what was Mario's mission in this sadistic, twisted game? Probably involved beating Bowser. What did he want to accomplish, and why? I had to finish the game to know. Finally, I came to the end of the level. There he stood. Bowser, I called it. His eyes were missing, and his belly appeared fleshless. I prepared to fight him, but he quickly grabbed Mario. He began to laugh evilly realistic sounds that cannot be made on an 8-bit console, which makes you wonder, how were they made on an 8-bit console? It became clear to me, this was not a hack. Bowser bit Mario's head off. Mario's body shivered and struggled as Bowser dragged him behind the battle scene. You know where Princess Peach was supposed to be? I was expecting to see Princess Peach. Oh, who am I kidding? I was not expecting anything that would save me from this nightmare. I saw a Toad, Luigi, and Peach. However, both Luigi and Peach had toad heads on their bodies instead of their own. Guys, this just went really weird. Bowser grabbed the Toad's head and stuck it on Mario. He placed him next to the others. Bowser then proceeded to rip his own head off and then began to pull out his intestines. Text appeared. Press B for a hard request. And even you can become one of us. I threw my controller at the screen, so hard that the screen actually broke. I ejected the cartridge and threw it at the wall. It fell into pieces. I noticed that there was a note inside. I picked it up and read it. Dear son, you're next. Oh, so your dad was the sadistic being behind all this. I threw both the game and letter in the fire that I started in my fireplace. I will never be with the satanic picture of my beloved characters like that out of my head. To this day, I cannot play Super Mario Bros. And the other morning, I woke up to see Mario carved into my arm. To take my mind off these things, I began looking through all of the other NES games. On top of the stack was Super Mario Bros. 2, but the label was different. It's but Super Mario Bros. 2 with the capital R. The picture of Mario delightfully carrying the turnip was instead a picture of Mario with an angry toad head, carrying Burtle's decapitated head instead of a turnip. After that, I just decided never to play any Mario game ever again. Whatever was on this game could only be worth. Thank you for reading. I wanted somebody to know about this before something happened to me. Well, guys, that was one heck of a creepypasta. It was definitely different, but it was very cliched. I mean, honestly, this story might have been a little better had they removed the cliches, because having your tail head replaced with Toad's head definitely can be a very creepy concept, because Toad is one scary mofo. Well, this has been 2Spooky4Me readings. I want to know what you guys think about this creepypasta, and I'll see you guys in the next video of Robot Ninja Paradise. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.